Welcome to Cycle Spartanburg. We're here today filming on the trail in Duncan Park, and we're visiting with Deborah Barksdale, who was out here biking with her family today.
Yes.
We're going to talk to her a little bit about how she and her entire family got involved in biking in Spartanburg.
Well, it just so happens I was watching the City Channel, Spartanburg City Channel 14, and I saw Partners for Active Living. They were doing an interview with a young lady that was on a bike. And I was like, Dad, I can do that. And so I called the number that was on television and hooked up with Jean Crow and Laura Ringo. And they just told me what I needed to do to get a bike.
Great.
Deborah, what all kinds of riding do you and your family do? Where do y'all go around town?
Well, we like the rail trail, and also we ride in our neighborhood, and we had the opportunity to teach our kids how to stay out of the street and stuff like that when cars are coming, to get off their bikes and walk to the curb. And it really gave us an opportunity to spend time together besides, you know, Sunday dinner and stuff like that. So now we take our bikes out and we come down to Duncan Park a lot of times to ride.
Great.
Well, and I know you'll have a lot of fun getting out and biking together, but have you also seen any other benefits to being able to get out and bike as a family? Have you had any improved health or anything along those lines?
Well, actually, another reason that we got the bikes was we were trying to, you know, get in shape, America and everything, and so I was doing it for exercise, and I called my daughter-in-law and told her about it and my son about it, so we all got bikes. And also, I was in a car accident in December of last year and totaled my car. Wow. But my family was very supportive, but sometimes you don't want to call them just to go get a quart of milk and some eggs. So I said, hey, I know what? I'll get my backpack and I'll ride to the grocery store. And it was just a short ride in the neighborhood. And so it has been convenient for me in ways like that. And just cycling around the neighborhood, sometimes just circling the block a few times. I feel good doing that.
Right.
I think it's
the idea of biking to the store is something we've talked about a lot on this show. You've done it now. What kind of advice would you give for other people who, like you, may need a quart of milk or a loaf of bread and need just to go around the corner? What kinds of things did you learn by taking your bike to the store? What's important?
I get a lot of encouragement from people I pass. I get to see my neighbors in the yard. So if I was in my car, I wouldn't be as apt to stop and chat and stuff like that. And I think it encourages other people that see me out. And, you know, it's like, where you get that bike from? Yeah. Then I tell them about Partners for Active Living, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be more important. More people are going to probably be wanting to bike to the store with gas at $3.50 a gallon, too. So
yes, I agree.
That's great.
Well, and we know it's really important. It's been shown that it's really important for folks to have a nice social network of people to get out and be active with, to really give them the motivation and encouragement they need to get out and do it. And I know y'all took advantage of the Hub Cycle program. That gave you a chance to not just get a bike for yourself, but also have some other folks in your family get a bike.
My son, he was recently diagnosed with diabetes, and they encouraged exercise. And so when I told him about the bike, he went and got a bike. And as I said before, my older son, who has a wife and family, they got bikes. And I have my nephew that moved here from Greenville, he's getting a bike. So it's just something that all of us participate in together, you know, as a family.
Deborah, you talked a little while ago about getting a bike from the Hub Cycle program. I know a lot of people who are new to cycling often worry about the maintenance and getting it so that it works just right. What's your experience been with maintaining the bikes that you ride?
Well, first of all, the first bike that I went to get, I went for comfort. And it was something I was familiar with as a young girl. Well, that bike didn't work out too good. So I called and they told me, oh, sure, bring it down. You can choose another one. And then I had a problem with the tire. Well, guess what? All I had to do was just call them, and then they took care of it. So I didn't have to worry about trying to fix it or anything. It was just contact them, and then they just took care of everything else.
Okay.
That is one of the nice benefits that the Hub Cycle program offers, is we have a part-time mechanic on staff who can help repair some of those things and make sure that you have a safe and comfortable bike as you go. Another thing about the program, like you mentioned, is a lot of people think they know what kind of bike they want when they come in, but after they actually give it a try, it may not be what they really needed to be able to go out and have a comfortable ride. How has this bike been doing for you since you had that first try?
Well, like I said, the first bike I went for a comfortable seat because I'm a little heavier than I used to be. But this bike, I like it because it's lightweight and I can change the gears, and it just works me out a lot better than the bike just sitting there plodding along. So I really enjoy this bike a lot.
Great. Well, I know, Deborah, you've been out on the trail with a lot of kids today, and you talked about having riding with kids. May 2nd is National Bike to School Day. And I know a lot of schools in Spartanburg are having bike to school days, and a lot of kids may be riding to school for the first time with their parents. What sort of lessons have you taught your grandchildren about riding in traffic or riding different places with you?
The thing I stress the most is to be aware of your surroundings, to watch out for traffic that's coming towards you, to keep your eye on traffic behind you. And since there's so many of us of different ages, I encourage them to look out for the others, not to panic. When you see a car coming, to get to the curb, get off your bike and walk beside it, or just stand still, not to get too excited because cars are coming. And so that's one of the things that we stress the most, that I stress.
And that's a great lesson too. I think there's others too, Jean.
Well, one great thing to remember is that parents and grandparents riding with their children can have a huge benefit in the kids' safety. A parent needs to be educated about the safe way to ride and then lead by example and go out and ride with their kids, not just sending them off to learn the lessons on their own.
Right.
Exactly.
Do you think that your kids and grandkids are going to continue biking as a part of their normal life and normal activities?
Every day. Every day there's not rain, I'm sure they always ask, can we go outside? Can we ride our bikes? And it really energizes the rest of the family. But the kids already had them, but for us to get involved with them, it has really been a positive influence on our family.
That's great. And it's really wonderful that Spartanburg now, since last year, it received its bicycle-friendly community designation, which was a national award it got. There are a lot more opportunities and resources for people who have kids that are begging to get out and bike, for families to have some resources to know where to go and how to get a bike and how to make it a part of their family activities.
Jean, we've talked about May 2nd being Bike to School Day. May is National Bike Month, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on with Partners for Active Living and biking in Spartanburg. Why don't you talk a little bit about all the events that are happening?
Absolutely. We have events coming up every week during May. We have events for everyone in Spartanburg to get involved in. We're doing community bike rides for families to join in, kids to join in. On May 10th, we have the Velo Veggie community ride from the Hub City Farmers Market. Even before that, on May 2nd, that night, we'll have the Steadman Hawkins Classic professional cycling race, which happens downtown. It's part of Spring Fling. We'll also have the Ride of Silence later in the month. We're doing a bicycling film series at Hubbub 2 nights during May. So there really is something for everyone. We're going to have the movies, the bike rides. We even have a Pedal with Your Politician bike ride on May 16th. That's to celebrate Bike to Work Day. And we're going to have the elected officials of our community out on a bike, biking in new bike lanes in downtown Spartanburg. The community is invited to join in. So that's really going to be one of the highlights of the month.
That's great. There's a lot going on, and I know if you want to check out more or learn more about biking, biketownspartanburg.org is the website, and I think all those events are listed there with more details about where they start. If you hadn't seen the bike race downtown, you got to come. This is its 4th year. It's a lot of fun for the whole family, and you wouldn't think that folks on bikes could go that fast. We've been here long enough, and it's really pretty, so I say we go for a ride. But remember,
ride safe
and ride often.